guys, the final dish from the second season, and it is very complicated. It is very tedious. That is how French cuisine is. A lot of procedures for the dish, and for this one I have to say that it's a little bit unrealistic considering how small a quail is. Probably only like this big, and in the anime they show that they stuffed a lot of things inside, and I don't know how they did it or what kind of quail they used, how it managed to get so big, but the quail I'm using is very tiny, and I'm going to try my best to stuff everything inside. And also for the risotto, I'm not going to make it the traditional way because from my experience, milk burns really easily, and if I cook it on the stove for half an hour, it's gonna burn. So instead, I am actually going to cook it in the rice cooker with milk. I don't know how that's going to turn out because I've never done it before, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot easier than the stovetop option. I'm scared to try it that way. If you guys have tried it, let me know if it actually burns or not. If it doesn't, I might try it out next time. But for today, I'm going to cook it in the rice cooker. So then let's get started. First thing, inside the rice cooker, I'm going to cook the rice first because it takes the longest. I'm just using a little bit more milk than I would usually use water. In a small pot, heat up some sugar first because it takes longer to liquefy than the honey, and then just caramelize them both together. It should be really bubbly in the end, and then add in the red wine. I know in the anime it's said to use beef broth, but I had some really nice pork broth left over, so I used that instead. And then just add some soy sauce to taste. Add more if you find the sauce too sweet. In some boiling salt water, we are going to soften up the cabbage leaves just until they're soft but not breaking. Melt some butter in a frying pan, and we are going to stir fry the minced chicken. Just stir it around until it turns all flaky. Do the exact same thing with the onions, except this time stir fry until it's completely dehydrated and it turns kind of a light caramel color. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to imitate how risotto is made traditionally, and I just added in the milk rice from earlier. Finally, don't forget to add the minced chicken back into the rice and mix it all together. To make the liquid, add some salt and pepper to the egg first and then some cream. I actually diluted this because I wanted it to be really runny, but in the end it was still not runny enough. So I'm really not sure how to make it how they showed it in the anime. And finally, it's time to make the hardest part of this dish, and that is trying to stuff everything inside this tiny quail. And I'm just using a small bowl here to make it easier to wrap, and somehow it's inside. Kind of. Even though it's kind of sticking on its butt, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. After that, take a cotton string and tie up the chest area, the leg, as well as the stomach tightly to make sure that it doesn't burst open. We are almost done. In a generous amount of oil, we are going to pan fry the sides until they turn to a nice golden crispy brown color. And at the same time, take a small spoon and pour more oil on the surface because we want it to be crispy on all sides. In a baking dish, drizzle on some of our caramel red wine sauce on top and bake it around 30 minutes at 200 degrees. And in the end, it should be really nicely browned and crispy. And to finish, just poach an egg and we are done. And it's pretty close, right? You don't really see the cabbage sticking out right there. Just look at how tiny this is. It's like the size of my palm. And yeah, the cabbage is sticking out of its bum. But let's cut it open. It smells very good. And it's a lot harder to cut open than I thought. I think I made the cabbage too thick. I wrapped too many layers around it. And I'm going to try the rice. That is really creamy. Wow. But I think I might have made it a little too thick. It's not really flowy. It's more creamy than flowy. It doesn't taste bad. It tastes pretty good actually, but it's really, really rich. And I have to say I really like the sauce on top, the red wine and the caramelized honey and sugar. I like the sweet sauce taste on top of this. Overall, I have to say I did the very best I can. I'm not sure if this is how it's supposed to taste, but to me it's pretty good. I wouldn't say I absolutely love it, but because it's a little too rich and creamy for my liking. But overall, it's a decent dish. I mean, is it worth all that effort? Not really. I find that the quail is really good and the sauce is really good too. So next time I'll probably just cook the quail with the sauce without the rice. Or cooking on the rice some other way. Maybe I'll make the traditional risotto inside. I think that'll taste a lot better because it's really too creamy inside. Let me know what you guys think of this dish. I think it's really unrealistic, and there's a lot of modifications that can be made to this dish to make it taste better. But that's it for this week, and I will see you guys next time.